We've finally covered everything we need to start scaffolding out our Strapi project and entering our content into our headless CMS. Before we can actually enter our content though, we have to define what type of content we're going to be entering into Strapi. So let's head on over to the admin dashboard and take a look at how we're going to create our content types. Remember, if you don't still have your Strapi server running, you need to change into the containing folder with our var_x folder, and then change into there, and then cd into the backend folder and npm run develop. And that will start up our Strapi server. Alright, now that we've got Strapi running, let's go ahead and open up our admin dashboard. Alright, and then go ahead and log in. Alright, and once we're here, let's go ahead and actually remove the default, or example rather, the example articles content type that we created. So we'll go over into the content types builder on the left, and make sure we have the article collection type selected, and then we're going to go up and click the edit button right next to the title. Then we can go ahead down here to delete, and we are going to delete this collection type, and that'll restart our Strapi server. Now we can go here on the left, still in our content types builder, and we're going to add a new collection type or content type. The first content type that I want us to create is going to be for our categories. Okay, so we're going to create a category content type, and let's go ahead and continue. Our category is going to be pretty simple. It's going to start off with a text element. So select a text field, and we're going to name this name. So this is going to be the name of our category. We can leave it as short text. Let's go ahead and make this a required field and a unique field. Okay, and we'll go and add another field, and let's go ahead and again, we will add text. We will name this the description. So our category description, we'll make this long text. In advanced, let's go ahead and make it required. Let's make it unique as well, and go ahead and add another field. The only other field that we're going to add to this right now is going to be some JSON, some data in JSON format. And we're going to name this filter options. Okay, this is going to be, as I mentioned when we were going over the project overview, we're actually going to enable each category to have its own filter options, allowing you to decide which filters are relevant for each category. And we'll talk more about how we're going to actually implement that later when we're building it, and the structure more when we're putting in the category data. But for now, we're just going to add some JSON to this field called filter options. Okay, let's check the advanced settings, and we'll make sure this is required because our UI won't look right without it. But I don't think we want it to be unique because we might have multiple categories that would have the same filters. Okay, so let's go ahead and we are going to now finish up our category. So it's just got these three simple fields right now. And let's go ahead and save this guy. Let's go ahead and create our second content type now. We'll go ahead and create a new collection type, and we're going to call this one product. So this is going to be the content type for our products themselves. Okay, let's go continue. And a product is going to start off just like our category with a name text field. Okay, and let's go ahead and again, we'll make this required and let's make it unique. And let's go ahead and add another field. Just like the category, we're also going to have a product description. So let's go ahead and add another text field. We'll call this our description long text. And let's again make it required and unique. And then let's go ahead and add another field. Now this one we haven't covered very explicitly, or we haven't really talked about it explicitly, but when we went over the design file, I mentioned the featured products section that we'll be creating, and I actually want to do that in a somewhat interesting way of actually allowing us to pick out our featured products from the back end, and then the front end will just pull in whichever products we mark as featured. So let's go ahead and use a Boolean value for this. We're going to name this Boolean value featured. Let's go ahead to advanced. We don't want this to be required because obviously not every product will be featured, and we don't want it to be unique because obviously we'll have more than one featured product. You can set a default value, but let's leave a default value for now of just null. So let's go ahead and we'll add one more field to our product, and this is going to be a relation referring to another collection type. Okay, so let's create a relation, and it looks like it's already starting to pull from the other content type that we just created, our category. And that's actually why we hadn't set up anything else on the category yet, because we didn't have any products to add to the category. So now we're setting up our product content type so we can link it to our category content type. We already have category selected up here, so now we just need to go ahead and select the appropriate relation between the two content types. I'm pretty sure, let's go ahead and pick this one, and that says a category has many products. That sounds obviously exactly like we want. And this will go ahead and tie a category to however many products are within that category, but then each product itself will only have one category. Okay, so hopefully that is clear. Let's go ahead and finish this up. And let's go ahead now and save our product content type. We just went over some of the considerations in the last video that went into deciding how we were going to actually structure this data. And in that video, we went over the product variant model. Using the product variant model allows us a much easier time tracking inventory for different variants and managing all the different colors and sizes of a product. So that's why we only have very generalized, simple information in the product content type, because now we're going to create the last content type that we'll create for now, and that is going to be our variant content type. Okay, let's go ahead and create this. The first thing we'll add to our variant content type is going to be a text field, and this will be a text field for the size of the variant. Okay, so we're going to name this size. Let's make sure this is required, and we don't want it to be unique because many of the sizes will be the same, either small, medium, or large. We do want it to be required though because every variant does need at least one size, or only one size. So let's go ahead and add another field, and let's do another text field, but this time let's call it our color. And this will be where we'll store the hexadecimal color value for our product, allowing us an easy time when we want to display the color options in the front end. We'll just pull all the actual hex values here from the product themselves, which will enable a really cool solution. So let's go ahead and make sure the color is required, but again, not unique because we probably will have more of the same color. Let's add another field. This time a number, and this is going to be our quantity, or QTY for short. If we pick what type of number, well, we're probably not going to have 1 million products in stock, and we're not going to have 0.2 of a product in stock, or 0.3, so we just want an integer. Let's go ahead and make sure that it is required that we enter how many of the product we have. Okay, let's go add another field. This time, another number, and this is going to be for our price. So this will allow us to set the price of our item depending on whichever size or color it is. We'll go ahead and a price will be a decimal because it could have some cent value like 9.99. So we'll go ahead and choose a decimal number, and again, make it required. Let's add another field. This time, let's add another text field, and this will be style. And this will allow us for our shirts to set whether it is a male style shirt or a female style shirt. And actually that same style property could be used for other things like the material it's made out of, or really any kind of different property. So the style field is probably something you'll use in your own applications. Let's go ahead, the advanced settings, make it required, not unique, and add another field. This time, let's go ahead and add some media to our variant. And this will be our field for the images for our product. Let's go ahead and click on this, and let's name this our images. And we will support multiple images, so let's leave this as multiple media. We can go to advanced settings. Let's make it required. We don't want a variant with no images. And let's go ahead and select or deselect videos and files and only allow images. And let's go ahead and add one last field to our variant content type, and that needs to be a relation to the actual specific product that this is a variant of. Okay, so we'll go ahead and over here select by clicking on the name of the content type and then scrolling down to find our product field, or content type rather, and then we will select the same option for a product has many variants, because we'll only have one definition of the base product, and then that product will have multiple variants attached to it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish that up. And here is our finished variant content type. Let's go ahead and save it. All right, and there we go. Just like that, we've gone ahead and started the scaffolding for the entire backend of our application, or really the main key parts of it. We're going to go in and add some more content types later on as we start building out some of the extra functionality, but really, we already have the very core of exactly what we need to start building an e-commerce application. You see here, we've got our categories, our products, users, and variants. So that is all of the underlying structure for the information that we're now going to need to put into Strapi. So right now we've just defined what type of information we're going to give it. And so in the next video, let's actually take a look at our project files and start entering the inventory into Strapi for our e-commerce application.